I am Davey and I feel that at this point, I should give you a little history about the Amazing Pulp Adventures. Why it's so near dear to my heart, you know, where it came from. Because this is sort of the journey so you know the journey I've taken to create this not only this game with Skullcrow Games, but you know where the ideas came from and things like that. We talked about it a little bit in the Kickstarter video, but I really wanted to just bare my soul, so to speak. It all starts when I was a little kid, and I have dyslexia and I have a speech impediment. And when I went to a therapist, they said the best thing for me to do was read. And luckily, I had a phenomenal mother that listened and supported what was interesting to me with reading. And for me, it was comic books and Star Wars. Please don't sue me, George Lucas, because I just used Star Wars. But that's where I started. The pictures and the words really came together for me. They let me, slowly start understanding, what I was reading, the context of the words. Because I did have a really hard time pretty much all the way through the 6th grade with spelling and things like that. My brain just was not wired right in the correct way. But why I delved into comics, I wanted to learn more about them. I wanted to learn the history. I wanted to know where they came from. And that's sort of where all that sort of spawned and was always sitting in the back of my head. Then fast forward quite a few years after I graduated high school and then college. I had some phenomenal teachers in college that showed me not only that I could write effectively, and I could affect the emotions of people that read my work, which was, I never thought that was possible, and that's pretty much why I went onto the path of being a writer, mostly speculative. And but the cool thing is that first year on the con circuit, I did a con down in Mobile, Alabama called MobyCon. And I met some absolutely phenomenal people. Don, Wayne, sadly Wayne's no longer with us, and he's sadly never gotten to see the what I've done with Mr. Adventure and the Amazing Pulp Adventures, because those two people appear in the novel and in the game, because they were just absolutely phenomenal individuals that I met, and they are such a part of Sapphire City, especially through the Rainbow Room, which once you get the book, you can find out more about that. But it was coming back from MobyCon, and there was a traffic jam. And I was stuck in traffic for like 3 hours. So I had these 3 hours, and like all of a sudden, this magic happened in my head. Sapphire City was born. Mr. Adventure was born. It was like divine inspiration. I mean, that's the only way I could really talk about it and really describe it. And then, like a week later, all I did was write the first book. I mean, I was non-stop writing. And, I finished this book in 2 weeks. And I was just like, wow. And no, it wasn't a pretty book. I had to go back and do some editing. And then I was like, March rolls around, and I decided, let me throw Tuckerization in there. For those, hopefully most of you know what Tuckerization is. Basically, somebody bids to be put inside a book, and the incredible Bill Mann at StellarCon won the bid. And then we did a little cool thing about, does the character live or die? Which then my friend Warren Buff bought that, and he came up with a really great idea. He said, let's make the character not only appear to die, but actually live in the end, which I thought was an amazing idea. So, Bill Mann is in there because he was the first non-superhero to receive the key to the city, because he actually helped save Mr. Adventure's life by versing a Doc-Tex mechanized Marvel. But if you want to know more about that, you got to get the book. See, I'm teasing you with all these little bits of information. But then something amazing happened thereafter. I had met podcasting's Rick Siegfried. Like I said, there are so many incredible individuals in the story of this happening. Rich Siegfried, who I met at Con Carolinas, we became friends after that first con, and he asked if I had a website. I showed him the website, and I had a sample chapter and prologue of the Amazing Pulp Adventures on there. And long story short, he surprised me with some audio. And it was the most amazing thing possible because he asked me if I could write original stuff. I was like, I have no idea, but sure, let me give it a try. So that led to our six-time nominated Parsec podcast, The Amazing Pulp Adventures radio show. And now that's rolled over into the Amazing Pulp Adventures RPG. And, you know, honestly, a lot of that is thanks to Skullcrow Games with T. Glenn and his wife Teresa. I mean, they've just been incredibly supportive of the product and this entire process. Drew Meyer, I mean, he's been absolutely amazing. I mean, he's given 110%. Sometimes I think he's wanted to rip his hair out because I'm wild, I'm crazy, and I get very, very excited about this thing, and I sometimes accidentally cut him off while he's talking. I don't mean to do it. It's just he inspires me, and I think of something new, and I have to blurt it out before I forget it. So he's been amazing. And then Dana Black with his art. I mean, just I was feeding off of him as much as he was feeding off of me as we were going back and forth on some of the character designs. I mean, this project, I mean, since its inception, all those many years ago, that first year on the con circuit for me, has just brought together, I think, in different ways, some of the most talented and incredible people I've ever had the chance to work with. And I really hope this Kickstarter, which I know this Kickstarter is going to do it, is going to let us, you know, not only explore the world of Sapphire City in this first book, but, you know, if things go well, and I really think they will, and I mean, like I said, Skullcrow Games has been absolutely incredible supporting me on this project. You know, I want to see more books done. I want to explore this world in a way I never thought I would. And I can't say thank you enough to every single one of you. I know I'm forgetting some people in there, and I'm really sorry. It's just, I can't remember everybody right now. But, I mean, you guys have just been absolutely incredible to me since the time this started to now. And I can't wait to see where it goes from here. But I know that you guys have just been absolutely wonderful and incredible to me. And thank you. I mean, that's all I can say. Just thank you from the bottom of my heart for letting me make one of my dreams come true, that may become a physical reality. So thank you again, and I'm going to stop babbling now because this is horribly long, but you at least have a little taste of the history of Amazing Pulp Adventures and where it came from and where it was born in all of its various stages. Thank you again, and peace. And remember, stay adventurous! And anything can be a mask. That's one of my favorites.